Effects of heat. In this lesson, we are going to learn effects of heat. Let us study effects of heat. Let us revise the changes that take place in a substance when it is heated. If the substance is liquid, its temperature will rise. It will begin to boil. When it reaches certain temperature, it will then turn into vapor. Solid substances like ice or wax, when heated, will begin to melt at a certain temperature. This changing of a solid into a liquid and a liquid into a gas on heating is called a change of a state of that substance. Let us see what changes take place when the heat in a substance is taken away. When we put water in a refrigerator, it becomes ice after some time. Coconut oil freezes in winter. It means that the liquid changes into solid. From the above study, we conclude that for a substance to undergo a change of state, heat must either be given to it or taken away from it. Let us study the melting point and the boiling point of a substance. Activity. Take 100 to 200 grams of crushed ice in a beaker. Stand a thermometer in the ice and hold it upright in the clamp of a stand. Place the beaker on wire gauze on a stand and heat it. Make a note of the level of the mercury in the thermometer at 1.5 minute intervals. Continue to heat the water even after the ice has all turned into water. The temperature at which a solid substance changes into a liquid is called the melting point of the substance. Similarly, the temperature at which a liquid substance starts to boil is called the boiling point of the substance. The melting point and the boiling point for any substance are the same. Freezing point is the temperature at which a liquid substance changes into a solid when heat is taken away from it. Expansion and contraction. If the tin lid of a bottle is stuck on too tightly, we often dip it in warm water to help open the bottle. If two metal bowls have got stuck one inside the other, we place them in hot water. This helps to separate the bowls easily. Like tin and steel, most substances expand on heating. That is, the length or volume increases. So, we could easily loosen the lid of a bowl and separate the two bowls from one another. Let us perform an activity to study solids expand when heated and contract when cooled. Activity. So, students, take a metal rod AB. Fix it on a stand firmly from end A. Keep a lever stand CD. Keep the other end B of the rod free and touching the end C of the lever CD. The lever CD is a pointer which turns on a circular scale PQ. Hit the rod. The pointer moves on the scale from Q towards P. This happens because when metal rod AB is heated, it expands. That is, its length increases. As a result, it pushes the lever at the end C and the pointer turns towards P. If we stop hitting the rod, it cools slowly and contracts and the pointer goes back to its original position. So we conclude that solid expand when heated and contract when cooled. Let us perform an activity to study how metal expand on heating. Activity. Place a metal disc of the size of 1 rupee coin on a wooden board. Hammer two nails on the board in such a way that the disc will just brush lightly against the two nails as it is slid between them. Holding the disc with tongs, heat it and try to pass it between the two nails. It gets stuck. From this experiment, we conclude that the metal disc expand on heating. As a result, the disc which could just pass between the two nails now gets stuck. The bimetallic strip. Let us perform an activity to study the unequal expansion and contraction on heating bimetallic strip. Activity: take an iron and a copper strip of the same size. Rivet them firmly together. Hit the strip. The strip bends. Hit the iron strip on the inside. This is because copper expands more than iron. In the bimetallic strip, we make use of the unequal expansion and contraction of copper and iron due to heat. Such a strip is used in electric gadgets to help maintain a constant temperature. Expansion of liquids. Students, let us perform an activity. To study like solids, liquid also expand on heating and contract when heat is taken away. Fill a test tube completely with water. Fit a glass tube in a hole in a cork and fit the cork on the mouth of the test tube. Ensure that the water in the test tube rises in the glass tube so that its level can be seen above the cork. Mark the level of the water in a glass tube. Hit the test tube. Observe the level of the water in the glass tube. We see it rising slowly. It means that on heating, water expands. Now, stop heating. Slowly the water goes back to its original level. It means that, like solids, liquids also expand on heating and contract when heat is taken away. Expansion of gases. Let us perform an activity to study if gas expands on heating and contract when heat is taken away. Take an empty test tube. Fit its mouth with a cork with a hole. Take a drop of a colored liquid into a narrow-bored glass tube. Fit this glass tube in the hole in the cork so that the drop of liquid can be seen above the cork. Now heat the test tube and carefully observe the colored drop. We see that the colored drop moves upwards. The heat makes the air in the test tube expand. The expanding air pushes the drop in the glass tube upwards. Now stop heating. The colored drop falls back to its original place. From the above three experiments, we conclude that substances in all three states, solid, liquid, or gas, expand when heated and contract when cooled. Summary: heat causes a change of state of a substance. Substances expand on heating. So that is all in this topic, students. Keep learning.